How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Ethan Bridge and I am host of the Social Media Marketing School podcast. Now today we're actually going to be talking about paid ads, and specifically today's topic is why you shouldn't click that little promote button that sits underneath your Instagram post if you have a creator or business profile. Now, we've all seen it. It's just at the bottom right underneath your picture. Instagram are almost screaming at you to promote your post. But you don't want to press it. No matter how tempting it may seem, please don't press it. Now, I'm not just going to tell you this and move on and leave it at that. I'm obviously going to tell you why, what you should do alternatively, but I'm not going to be all doom and gloom. I'm going to tell you some good ways you can actually use it if you do want to click it and test it. So if that is the case, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on where a good place to use it would be. But before I tell you all that, I'm going to tell you what happens when you do actually click it. Now, obviously, the clue is in the name. If you click on this promote button, the end goal is that it's going to promote the post that you click promote on. But you would see that when you actually click through, there are only 3 different things you get to choose from in the promotion process. Number 1, you get to pick the audience that the ad is pushed to. Number 2, you get to set the budget of the campaign. And then finally, number 3, you get to select the duration of your campaign. So 1 week, 2 weeks, you name it. But one thing you must be extremely aware of is that it doesn't actually let you choose the consideration of your campaign. You can't select whether it's going to be a conversion campaign, page likes, you name it, none of that. It automatically sets that promotion to an engagement ad. That is all that these ads can do, engagement only. So if that's all you're looking for, by all means, it's okay to push that promote button. But if you're looking for conversions, if you're looking for link in bio clicks, if you're looking for form completions, you name it, all of that stuff, it's not going to happen because Instagram only allows you to select engagement. It does it automatically. So that is one thing you need to be aware of. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of cases where this button may come in handy. So, for example, a good time to use it would be if you have a post that is performing extremely well, and I like to call these sort of posts unicorn posts. Now, a unicorn post I define as a post that is doing far better than your average piece of content. When you look at the engagement, it is just way higher than all of your previous posts. That is a unicorn post, and that is one that could be worth boosting because it is already performing well. So you want to give it that extra little kick to make it perform even better. And because you've already got a great engagement rate, that boost is only going to actually boost that engagement rate. And it'll get you more likes, more comments, more shares, more saves, you name it. That will also tie in with the explore page and all comes together. And you may see a really high reach as the end product on that post. So if you have one of these unicorn posts and it's performing well and you have a really compelling call to action, it could do really well for you, one of these promote buttons. So that would be one of the times I'd use it. Another time is when you kind of want to revive your account. Say you've been away for a week. Obviously, the algorithm encourages consistency. If you have listened to my episodes in the past where I talk about the algorithm, you will understand that it promotes consistency. And by consistency, I mean you are posting daily. So let's say you have been posting daily, but then you leave the platform for a week because you may go on holiday or you may be swamped with other jobs, then that is going to damage your reach on that first post back because Instagram was used to your consistency and then you haven't come onto the platform for a week. So when you post, you're going to reach a much lower amount of people. But you can counteract that by clicking that promote button because, as I said, the automatic consideration for that promote button is engagement. So if you just want to kickstart that reach from the get-go after being away for a while, the promote button is a great way to solve that. But now back to the point of the episode and why I believe that you shouldn't press it, and it's because there is a fantastic alternative and it's just a much better way to spend your hard-earned money. you are obviously spending your own money to promote your post, so obviously you want to make your ad spend money stretch that little bit further. And just by doing what I'm about to tell you, this can dramatically increase that return on ad spend. So this is still spending money on ads. You are still, at the end of the day, promoting your post, but you aren't going to do it straight through the Instagram app with the promote button. Instead, you're going to head over to the Facebook Ad Manager. Now, as I said at the beginning of the episode, all the promote button allows you to do on Instagram is select your audience, your budget, and your duration. The Ad Manager allows you to do so much more than just those three things. And I'm just going to run you through a few of the things that it does allow you to do. So the first thing, and I believe this is one of the most important things, is it does allow you to choose from multiple different considerations of how you want your ad to perform. So rather than just there being that engagement consideration, you now have engagement, traffic, app installs, video views, lead generation, messages, you name it. But as you can see from this list, the Ad Manager allows you to do so much more with your ad opposed to just targeting engagement. Because let's say you were going for app installs whilst clicking the promote button, but you were just getting engagement as your consideration. Just by switching to the Ad Manager and selecting app installs as your consideration, you would receive a much more targeted ad campaign, and you would consequently get way more app installs. And that is simply just because you've headed over to the Ad Manager and used the Ad Manager platform opposed to the promote button on Instagram. So number 2 is it allows you to do A/B testing. When you click promote using the promote button, that is it. That is your promotion. That's it. You can't change it. You can't run with it. You have to just use that one. But if you go into the Ad Manager, you can set up multiple different promotions for that post to compare and test them and see which one performs best. So you may have your first ad with your consideration as engagement. Just keep it the same as that promote button for demonstration purposes. But then for the next one, you may test it using traffic. For the next one, you may test it using app installs. Now, you may have one end goal for your ad, but you're now testing between each of the considerations to see which one performs best at achieving you the results you want to achieve with that ad. You can also test different audiences, different budgets, different behaviors, different countries, you name it. All of that stuff you can actually split test, and you couldn't have done that with the promote button on the app. So reason number 2, you get to test and compare and improve accordingly. So number 3, you get more advanced controls over your location targeting. So for example, when you click the promote button, you only get to select certain regions. But when you use the Ad Manager, you can also exclude certain regions. So let's say you wanted to target worldwide but exclude a specific area. On the Ad Manager, you can do that. By using the promote button, you can't. You have to go through with the promote button and select one by one the locations that you want your promotion to target. Whereas it's much easier if you know the area of the world that you want to exclude. By going onto the Facebook Ad Manager, you can do just that. Just select worldwide and then exclude certain areas. So let's say, for example, you have products that you can't ship to a certain part of the world, but you still want to target worldwide. You target worldwide, you exclude the countries that you can't ship to. Now, by all means, with the promote button, you can simply go through and select all the countries one by one, and then just not include ones that you don't ship to. But that takes much, much longer, and the time it actually takes to go over to the Ad Manager and just create the ad through there, you would have saved that time already, because the time it takes to input all of those different countries would just take forever. So that's another good reason. It gives you much, much more targeted location targeting. So the next point that the Ad Manager does allow you to do is it allows you to target certain demographics and behaviors. So if you are familiar with the ad platform, you'd understand that when you are doing a conversion ad, for example, you get to choose people that have purchased online within a certain period of time. So from that, you are able to establish that they have had recent activity with online shopping. You know that they are people that are familiar with online shopping, and therefore there is the chance of them actually buying your product if you are promoting it online. But with the promote button, you can't do that. You cannot select behaviors of people. So if you want to get more targeted and completely understand how your ad is going to act in front of the customers it is showed to, then go over to the ad manager. Selecting behaviors is one of the key things that really allows you to niche down and make sure that you are targeting those specific people that are going to take action on your ad. If you just click that promote button, you are really taking that chance, because let's say your ad is shown to 1,000 people, 800 or 900 of those might be people that just dislike online shopping, and therefore they aren't going to take action. So that's already 90% of the people that being shown to that are just completely irrelevant. But if you actually go over to the ad manager and you use that behavioral targeting method that I just spoke about, you will know that every single person that your ad is being shown to is an online shopper and they have done an online purchase recently. So your ad spend is going to go much further and be much more targeted and hopefully give you a higher return on investment than that of which you would get with the promote button. So that's another good one. It gives you the opportunity to target certain demographics and behaviors. So next, the ad manager also gives you complete control over where your ad is placed. So for example, with Instagram Promote, you are only going to be shown on people's feeds. That's it, simple as that. But if you go over to the ad manager and you create your ad through there, you can obviously select if it's going to be on stories, on the feed, on the Facebook feed, in Facebook stories, on the Facebook Messenger app, all of the different ad placements. If you're familiar with ad manager, you will know what they are. But obviously with the Instagram Promote, you only are promoting your post to the Instagram feed. So if you want complete control of where your ad is actually going to be shown to individuals, then head over to the ad manager, because you can do that. You can't do that with the promote button. A simple one, but it does play into how well your ad is going to perform in the long run, because it might just be something that performs well on Instagram stories, but you can't promote your feed post on both your feed and in the stories. But you can do that if you were to go on the ad manager. You can have your post being shown in the stories and in the feed. I hope that makes sense. It was a much more simple point, but you do get the gist of it. So moving on to the next point. When you are selecting your budget on Instagram, you literally select an amount of money which will be spent over X period of days. So that's not much control at all. So let's say your campaign through the promote button was for 5 days, and for the ease of the example, you set a budget of £100. It could spend £50 in the first day. You don't have that even ad spend over the days that your campaign is running for. Whereas if you head over to the ad manager, obviously you can select the budget for the campaign, but you can also go down to the ad set level and make it spend X amount of money per day. You have much more control over the ad spend, whereas with the promote button, it's just going to spend however much money you tell it to spend over the amount of days that your ad is for. So head over to the Facebook Manager and you get much more control over how your money is spent. Arguably, you want as much control over your money as possible. In my opinion, I always go for a set amount of daily ad spend, because I like to keep my numbers straight. I like to know what's going on, opposed to there being sporadic numbers throughout and I have no real control. If I know how much money I am spending per day with my ads, I can budget accordingly. So I always go to Facebook Ads Manager for that reason. And the final reason for using Ad Manager is because you get more control over your actual campaign duration. So if you were to click the promote button and head down those steps, you will see that it will only give you the options to set your campaign from 1 day all the way up to 30 days. Now, you may want more control over that. You may want it to go from a certain time one day to a certain time the next. You may not even want it to be a day campaign. You may want it to be a few hours, or you may want it to be more than 30 days. With the promote button, you can't do that. You just get the daily incremental options from 1 all the way up to 30. Head to the ad manager, far more control. As I just mentioned, you can be really specific on the times you want your ad to actually start. So for example, if you want all of your ads to start at midday the following day so that you have that consistency throughout of how much of your money is being spent and how they're performing, so it's easier to compare results, then you can do that. You cannot do that with the promote button. It's just going to start as soon as you click start, and it's going to end however long you set the duration for. If you want to be really, really accurate and be able to compare results much easier, head over to the ad manager and really get specific on the start and end dates of your campaign. So that rounds up all of the reasons on why you should be using the ad manager for your Facebook and Instagram promotions, opposed to just clicking that promote button. I know Instagram makes it seem as if this promote button is going to achieve you brilliant results, and it could, if the only thing you are concerned about is engagement. But if you want anything else whatsoever, you should not be clicking that promote button. You need to be going over to the ad manager and creating your ad that way. Even if you want engagement, if you head over to the ad manager, you get way, way more control over the ads you are actually creating. I believe Instagram has just put it in there as a way to make a little bit more money. People that don't know that Ad Manager exists and how to use it, they are still able to make money from those individuals. It seems appealing to someone that just wants to get more likes on their post. But if you really want to make the most of your ad spend and make the most of your hard-earned money, head over to the Ad Manager. If you do, I hope you will see much better results than what you are achieving if you are currently using that promote button. But that does round up today's episode of Social Media Marketing School. If you did enjoy the video, I'd really, really appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. I'm a very, very new channel, so as much feedback as I can get is appreciated. Leave a comment on anything I can improve on, but as I said, a like and a subscribe would really, really go a long way for me at this point in my journey. But make sure you subscribe to the audio versions of the podcast. These episodes are released a couple of days early on there, so they are the place to be if you want to consume this content a little bit earlier than here on YouTube. If you've got any questions with regards to anything I've mentioned in today's video, just reach out to me on Instagram at @themarketingethan, send me a DM and I will make sure I get back to you no matter what. But I just want to finish off by saying, if you have reached this point in the video, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.